Hey everyone, welcome to the fifth episode of City Superworlds. Thank you all so much that are watching my channel. I really massively, intensely appreciate it. Intensely, uh, um, very grateful for all of your support, and even more so for the subscribers. Thank you very much. And if you do feel like subscribing, complete your choice, of course. Please, that would be very much appreciated. Left off in the last episode fixing some power issues. We're now going to just continue some of the roads, just so we've got a little bit of zoning room coming up here um, with this map. And once again, it doesn't have to be completely a straight line, but one of the things I'd like to maybe do in this episode though is to just branch it off a little bit and zones for some farms, because I think this is really a useful for new city builders to learn how to zone farms, because it took me a little bit of time as well to figure it out. So first thing I'm going to do is take a look at if this is a highway, and if not, it's a street. Okay, it's a long, very long street, so we're gonna leave that as it is, more or less. We're gonna split it off into a highway at this point. We don't want to force the drivers, motorists, to have to go at a really slow speed, which is what they would be currently having to do if I don't change this, so at least slightly. So I'm gonna just see put a two-way system. Excuse me. Two-way system. We're gonna go with, if we can get it to work out, reconnecting towards each other. Yep. So in one direction, one way, 3 lanes. In the other direction, another way. So we're going to just experiment with this highway if we can, to see how it will look, and we're going to maybe construct our first bridge here as well. I've only done one other bridge in the test map, so I'm not saying I'm great at this, but we're going to give it a try. 4-lane arch bridge is what we're going to attempt. We're looking for blue here. If we can get blue, perfect, great. It was there a second ago. Yep, here we go. So we have achieved it. That looks great. That looks really, really good. The bridges in this game look outstanding. Just look at this. Wow. If only they only took 2 seconds to make in real life. There'll be a lot more bridges. But we're gonna go the other way. Same thing. I'm wondering if the extension's too low, but oh, we had it there a second ago. Maybe it will work out. Just about, maybe. Oh, yes. Good enough. I'll take it. I'll certainly take it. Right. We need to have, I think we'll just take a look at the highway road again and see which direction we had it originally going in, because I want to make sure we get the direction right with the highway. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks like it would be right with the 3 lanes. Yeah. We'll have to just make a little adjustment just to move it into position, but not much of an adjustment. That's pretty good. Very, very good actually. I'm very happy with that. We'll continue then. Now, it may not have been necessary to have created the 2 bridges, but we'll keep it. We'll keep it as a feature of the city. Certainly will stand out a little bit, that's for sure. Keep it for now anyway. If we did want to remove it, it wouldn't be that difficult later. But I think we should keep it. Quite like it. I think it's important to connect highways to get citizens to move in. So we're going to have to maybe make a big attempt to try and get this to work. And that will now include an elevated highway. We're going to have to go over the top here with the next 2 pieces, because as you seen a second ago, it wasn't allowing us to, if I just bring it back 1 second just to show everyone, it wasn't going to allow me to have the highway at the same elevation and to cross the other highway. I can't do that. I have to go over the top of that highway in order to connect, which it will allow me to do. And I'll have to do the same with this side of the highway as well. And because the curve is so severe, it's going to be a bit trickier on this one to get it to go exactly where I want. Still not quite where I would want it. It's proven to be a little bit more of a tricky one, this one, to get right. Perhaps this is a place that we morph the highways together. I'm starting to think. Perhaps it may not be. I would like to have both highways though coming across the city. Let me just see if I can somehow work out a way to do this. We'll focus on one side anyway for the moment, and then we'll see what we can do on the next side. And that's not working okay, so we'll go back a step. Yes, that looks good. And our highway is running straight in towards the city. Okay. So now going to continue. We don't really need it to be elevated at this stage either. We can drop it down again like we did before. It's no requirement really for it to be elevated at this point. We might just gradually move it just slightly towards the edge of the map. We're going to just slightly turn the highway just in a direction that suits where we're going, which is the bottom area of the valley, and in particular looking for that connection. Have we got it? Yes, we do. Same with the other side. Moving into the city. Trying to keep the roads not quite touching each other, but quite close to each other, I think. That's the best way to put it. As close as we can get them. These are two very long highways that we're having to put together, so we're just having to have a little bit of extra work here just to get them 100% in terms of where we would want them in valid shape. It's so easy just to make a little mistake crossing over, especially when you're working with two highways that are they look good once they're laid down, but two highways that are very close to each other, you can overlap potentially, and that's what can bring up an error message at times. It's just really how close you're working together if the other highway is causing that. Well, that was a lot easier. It was actually an underneath that was okay in this case. So right, there's a problem, and you can see it there. What I've done there is made a mistake. I needed to probably do the highway from the other direction. In fact, both highways have the same issue. It looks like both highways have the same issue, and I'm gonna have to try and resolve now. And that's the problem sometimes when you do highways like this, that you can forget which direction you're supposed to be going. Well, that is so unfortunate. What has happened there? That's a mistake to me. I do want to get the connection sorted. You know, my patience is wearing out thin with this, so I'm going to just change my mind completely. Just because I really want to get the connection sorted, and doing it that way is maybe taking a little bit longer than I would want to. I'm just also going to do some deletions here, and I'll show you how quickly you can delete large stretches of road. But we're going to redo this and do it another way. We're going to go just two lanes either side, classic highway, and that way that'll definitely work out okay. Which is something I debated doing when I initially put down that road, but I changed my mind at the last second to go with two free lane roads instead. But I don't really think it's worked out as well as I hoped, so we're going to go back and simply select this 2-lane road either way. What I can do with this road as well is put it really close to the train tracks as well. this should now allow us a connection, because I really want to get some citizens in, and I think doing it like this would be a faster way of just constructing things the way that we want. Not quite where we need to be, but we're getting closer. Might need some elevation just to sync it up. Crossing over there is not proven to be that easy. I don't mind making a little bit of a mess just to get through this. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. At least it's all connected. That's the most important thing with this. Let's zone for some farms. We're going to use some dirt road, which is an option from the main roads, gravel road, and we're going to lay down some of that so we can create some farms. We'll lay it down from, say, here, sort of outskirts. We'll say this is the sort of outskirts of this city. I don't think we'll go as far as this. I hope not. There'll be a lot more zoning to be done. We might go still quite a bit further than what we've gone at the moment, so I do want to create a little area of farmland. You can make the farms as big as you want as well. That's the cool thing with this game and zoning farms. Creating farms in the previous city games has always been a serious challenge, and I think the developers knew they needed to help out the creators a little bit with that. It's just all about giving the players the tools to actually be able to play the game the way they have in their minds. Looks like I made a little mistake there. I'll just cut back and zone some basic farms really shortly. We're just not quite there yet. There's quite a variety of farms that you can lay down as well, and I actually hope they even add to it with future DLC. I would love to see them add to the amount of farms they've currently got, and the amount they've currently got is extensive enough, or is at least better than a lot of previous city building games. Which makes it a lot easier for people to build your cities too. You've got the tools. Okay, we're gonna create more gravel road. We're gonna drag it down. It's gonna make it a lot easier if we know the area we can go into with the farms. Another thing is with these areas, they're big areas and they're probably too big, so we're gonna have to just try and sync them up a little bit, try and narrow them down just a little bit more, just to make it a bit smaller. We'll see the radius in just a moment that I'm going to be referring to, but that might be okay for some of them. It's difficult to know 100%, but okay. We'll zone one or two more, I think. Sorry, lay down some more gravel road first, and then we'll start zoning. That should be enough. It's not exactly straight, but they don't have to be again. So you're going to zone, and you're going to the very furthest one. We've got livestock farming, specializing in interesting to produce livestock. We've got green farming, we've got vegetable farming, textile fiber, forestry, and stone mining, coal mining, ore mining, oil drilling. I haven't really used these ones just as much. For me, it's mostly forestry and the other options. I like forestry because the farms will look a little bit different. It will be more like a green field with the forestry. And there's the radius you can see now. I'm going to lay down another couple of gravel roads, and the reason for that is you can see that the radius is just sort of outside the perimeter for some of those, and I want to just make it a bit easier for myself when doing this. And these are still very big farms. and I just think it's easier when you've got good road system to build the farms. So just makes it a hell of a lot easier. Now you can see the farm definitely fits anywhere in that little zone. If I put the farm here next to the gravel road, fits in the radius. The circle there's the radius. Put it here, it actually doesn't go, but even there, well, it does. Usually I would put my farms in the center. That's my recommendation, because you can get to fill a whole area then. So you lay down your farm, you can take a look at the production deficit. Then you're going to be using the farm zoning sort of district tool. So I'm going to drop it down there, 90-degree angle, moving it across until you hit the road, which is there. You'll see a little red error message when you hit the road, and that's why it's so useful to put in your dirt roads, because you can kind of get an idea where your perimeters are from your dirt roads. You know how much space you have to work with. There we go, there's another zone hit, so we're gonna just... you feel free to zoom in as much as you want here as well. If you want to get it exactly perfect, you can do that. And you could spend hours creating farms just by themselves. And that's the first one. It's a forestry area. Forest cabinet looks really, really nice. You can see it there. The mountains in the background looks incredible. In fact, the dirt road in the background. Let's just see if I can get rid of the... I'll just go to photo mode just for a second, because it's such a really nice visual there. I'm going to just take a moment to hide the UI as well, if I can. How about that? Pretty cool. Mountain view. And again, I'd love to learn how to create mountains as good as that. That looks insane. Loving the look of that. That's amazing. What a screenshot that is. We're going to try some grain farming then in this next zone. We're going to try and again, you can create the farms how you want to create them. You can create them much smaller. You don't have to do that. There is some area there I'm just noticing just to the left, so maybe we'll just change the location of the grain farm just a little bit. And I'm going to create the farm just a little bit smaller this time. I'm going to just move it to this area here. Just so you can see, you don't have to even go to the edge of the road. You can make it so it fits inside the radius. Yeah, you might only just get it inside on occasion, but and the more that you practice zoning farmland, the better you'll get. You'll get so much better the more practice you have. It's something that just takes a little bit of time, maybe at the start, to get used to, but the more you do it, the more successful you'll be with doing it. We'll maybe create a little community here just in this area of the map as well. Like a suburb almost of the city. We'll not make it too densely populated though. Going back to the farm zoning again. Grain farming, we'll try that next, I think. We're gonna put wonder can we fit this in okay into the radius. It's a bit of a tight squeeze on certain corners of this map, so we might not be able to do it in one. We might have to put two farms together, maybe just with this one. Yeah, you can see we're not going to get anywhere close with the top area of the circle, so we'll just have to make sure we just kind of get as much as we can with this, which is pretty good effort here. Dropping down. Yep, and we'll create another farm of forestry beside it. Maybe some stone mining. We'll go for some stone mining just to mix it up. Just change it up. Some stone mining. And you just make sure each node that you're heading, just to make it a bit easier for yourself. I've made a mistake there, so if you do make a mistake, you can just go back and delete. Pretty easy to make a mistake, to be honest, because you're working with such small node areas. Okay, and we'll continue on with the forestry then. We're going to zone this time just a second. Again, I've just dropped it down too quickly there. Won't get rid of that. You can see now probably why I was so keen to put down gravel roads a little bit earlier, just because it does make it so much easier when you're zoning farming. I think it really just makes it so much easier. Look, I could go across here and then on to the next two or three areas. I can go up as well and just make it a lot easier for myself, you know, for the next couple of farms that are going down in terms of what's going to be put down next. So I think we're going to go forestry, like I said, and it's going to make the next farm. Again, there is a little bit of extra work maybe needed just to get your nodes 100% if you want to make sure that they look good. And I think this is the most effective, neatest way is maybe the word, the most tidiest way to zone farming. And the farm produce will be very useful in terms of your city stats, but you don't even have to check out your city stats every 2 minutes. You just get the zones. It's something to really look at a bit later on once you've got a lot more stuff going on. I wouldn't do it early in the game. I don't think there's any need to do it early in the game. And I'm going to zone for another area here. I'm going to zone for another farm. I don't think we've tried carrots yet, have we? We'll just put a bit of everything in this map, I think. Makes sense. Okay, down to the bottom. Complete area. Yeah, those are looking great. I'm really happy with how those have started off so far. It feels like the area is growing where it needs, the way it needs to, in exactly the spaces it needs to. So we'll come back to the farming for the moment. It's clear. We've started off with farming area. It's clear where it's going to be. So there's a little error message here. There's a facility. There's an issue just with the we're not matching current demand on water or pollution, so we're going to have to seriously deal with that. We already have one water treatment plant. We're going to try for a groundwater pumping station. Okay, we're not going to try for that. We're just going to go for a regular pumping station because we need something that's just going to work straight away pretty much. Electricity, I thought we dealt with that. Not receiving enough electricity. So I wonder can we maybe deal with those power lines now? We tried to do this a little bit earlier in one of the previous episodes. We didn't quite manage to do it, and there was a couple of reasons why. I think maybe we could try again. I think bring these power electricity cables across the city. We can afford to do it in the outskirts a little bit more. We will need a transformer station though to have any chance of this working. And then we'll connect the electricity lines. We will need a road. as usual. Kind of seeing how things are going with the roads and everything. You do need to have a pretty good amount of roads created around these buildings. Wouldn't even say this is the tidiest way of doing it, to be honest, but it's saying that the road, oh yeah, that was from earlier on. That was the problem. The highway, we've connected highway there. We shouldn't have done that. That should be just an alley. No need for that to be a highway anyway. I'm not sure what I was thinking earlier with that one. It should solve some of the issues. There's one gone. Electricity lines, still an issue with electricity, it looks like. Might have to come back to it later. It may be that there needs to be another power plant, even with the nuclear power plants created. There may not be enough electricity. And I'm thinking it's a difficult one because we could try wind energy, but I'm thinking maybe we might not get enough from that. We need something maybe a bit bigger. Gas power plant. Yeah, I think we'll try a gas power plant next. And connect it as well. I think we'll have it really close by and see how this works. Just because this is a massive city and we do want it to kind of have as much as possible to help the city power-wise and electricity. Why we do. It's something that we don't want to think about too much all the time. We want to just deal with it, have it done. If there's power issues, we'll try and get it dealt with as soon as possible. Roads, okay, there. No, I don't know if that's going to be enough or not, but we can give it a try and see. It's going to be a lot more power than it was before, that's for sure, and it is connected to the other side of the city. Wastewater treatment plant is having some issues. Water pump polluted, problems there with some of our sewage pipes. So we've got one citizen, yay, finally, one citizen for all the work we've done with the highway and everything in this episode. Feels like there's the full terrain, by the way. You can see all the other areas. I think we'll just wrap up this episode maybe by doing some more zoning. In particular commercial. We're going to go back to commercial high density for the shoreline. Dropping back to medium density residential. And maybe we'll go with actually commercial. Okay, yeah, we'll just try and make this as easy as possible to work with. And we're going to go back to high density office towers and the big skyscrapers. These should be the big skyscrapers we're looking at with this set of buildings that's about to coming in just a second. Should be at least some more should be at least 5 or 6 new skyscrapers going up there with those zones. It's really starting to take shape. There's a lot more big buildings in there. We're going to just delete a few buildings just there, and we're going to zone for a few more skyscrapers. Haven't fully dealt with the power and solution issues yet. Maybe we'll take that in the next episode. Just like a little bit more time to really deal with those. But we have certainly resolved more than a few issues in this one. run a road here the whole way down here. Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what I'm looking. But I'm also going to maybe try and use pedestrian footpath. I haven't really done that yet to this point. I haven't really used pedestrian footpath to this point, but I'm going to maybe do that now. Pedestrian crosswalk. Wide sidewalk. We're gonna zone for some more big buildings. Probably big office buildings, if I'm honest, in this area again. Followed by just a few more big skyscrapers. Dropping it down just as we move a little bit further. Okay. Here come more buildings. That looks good. Well, it's taking shape. Once again, thank you everyone for watching this video. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next episode of City Superworlds. Have a good day, everyone.